Greetings and welcome to SmartWatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel dedicated to smartwatches, smart bands, fitness, all kinds of wearables. We're on the web at smartwatchticks.com. Now, I know a lot of you guys are first-time viewers. In fact, only 1 in 10 that come here actually have subscribed to this channel. So for those of you brand spanking new, you're about to see some very interesting technology in this fitness band that you have not seen in the mainstream. Why? I know. I've been checking it. I've been looking. I've been watching what's going on with Fitbit and Samsung and Apple and Garmin and on and on and on. And I'm telling you, this little thing here can run circles around them, and you're about to learn why. First, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's available through an outlet called AliExpress. Read that as Amazon in Chinese. This is a huge company that brings in a whole bunch of other subsidiaries that market products. And today we're featuring L8STAR, L8STAR, the model R11 fitness band. It's available from AliExpress. I have a link in the show notes down below this video. If you're on your mobile, swipe around, you'll find the notes. And click on that link. It'll take you right to this page. And we'll try to get you a discount price too. Why is there a range of prices? They're available in different colors from different locations. China, Russia Federation, so forth. Most of them, in fact, mostly all of them, are going to come in at $30. We'll see if we can get it a little bit lower for you, but look at what you can get for $30. $30. If you're thinking of getting a fitness band over $100, pick this puppy up first just to see if you like them or not. It's a throwaway thing. Pass it to your kids, whatever you like to do, then invest in the really expensive products. But I think you're going to find that they're going to let you down after you see what this one will do. And what will it do? Well, let's look at the specs. It will do blood pressure. Boy, will it, in an interesting way. Now, with a caveat, it's not been checked for calibration and accuracy, so user at your own risk. But as far as an augmented number that you can work with your doctor, you're going to get some interesting, refined blood pressure measurements. Of course, it will do heart rate monitoring. Everything does. Pretty soon next season, your TV will, while you're watching it, it'll probably read the capillaries in your forehead and give you heart rate monitoring. That's easy. It's an activity tracker that does speedometer, sports, fitness, all those typical things in a bracelet from L8STAR. You can see all the things here. Push messages, notifications are there, call reminders, and remote control capability. It's a silica band and plastic thing, and it works with adults. And color LCD, you're going to see that. It's really nice color. Life waterproof. Don't swim with it. Lightly wet, but not very wet. But overall, a simple little band at a simple little price. However, one of the features it can do is a thing called fatigue monitoring. And that's based on something called HRV, heart rate variability. Want to get a little technical? Okay. Scientific monitoring and analysis of the health degree of cardiovascular system presents potential risks. We know that. Through detecting the ECG, that's electrocardiogram signals. There's 2 electrodes on the bottom of this thing and 1 in the front. The 2 electrodes touch your arm, goes up through your heart, picks up the electric wave, comes back on your finger, and makes a circuit so it can detect your heart wave. You're going to see that live here. Stick with us. Don't go away. And in that heart wave, you can determine heart rate variability. Okay, so that through detecting the ECG signal and extracting HRV values, plus further comparing the big data of users and crowd, that means, like Google does and Facebook does, amalgamating all of the statistics of people everywhere, broken up by age and so forth, that users equal to heart rate variability of the crowd at which age is calculated, and the heart and cardiovascular prevalence risks are taken in to quantize the cardiovascular health level and guide users to improve as soon as possible. That's some of the best written Chinese English I've read for a long time. It almost makes total sense. Really, Anyway, what's going on here? When you see the heart chart, you're going to see the blip, the blip, the blip, like you see on the oscilloscope on those TV shows, and then it goes straight line and goes, bah, and everybody cries. Well, you're not going to do that, but you're going to see the little blips. And what they don't tell you is the distance between those little blips on the chart. It'd be easier if I had a chart. I'll show you when we get to the chart. They can be close or far, and they can change. That's variability. How much variance is there between the rhythm of each of those pulses? When it's very rhythmic, you're very relaxed. When it's all staccatic, and there's a bunch close together and far apart, you're pretty much stressed out. And this thing can take not only into consideration the overall heart rate variability, but it can break it down into segments. We'll show you that in the app. Some of you have been here before, have seen this before, and I've talked about it in so many different ways. Yet another one today. But if this is your first time through, I remind you too to check in the show notes. I've got a link to a playlist. A playlist, it's a group of videos all centered on bands that do this same kind of ECG plus PPG. That's the green diode in the back that you see get the heart blood pressure usually, the heart rate, the pulse usually. Anyway, the combination coming up with all of this stuff here. We've got a whole playlist with a bunch of different similar ones that have been reviewed, and plow your way through them if this is of interest to you. I've wasted enough of your time talking. Let's get into it. When you pull out this thing, you see there's a nice little manual in here. And one of the things I do on this channel, because none of these little brochures are digitized, and if you were to lose yours, well, you'd be out of luck. You won't find it anywhere on the internet except here on YouTube. If you freeze frame these pages as we go through, you'll have literally access to the brochure. Now, right here, it's talking about Wear Heart, the app, which you can scan this QR code, or again, you can go to the show notes. I have a link there to bring this up. Load that up in your phone. This is what you'll use to tether to this band. Wear Heart. Excellent, excellent app you're about to see. Here's information. There's your first heart wave. Look at that. Actually, there's two of them. The top one's the ECG one. The bottom one's the PPG. When we get going, I'm going to tell you about PWTT, sorry. Yeah, it's really fun. All of this stuff is fun. It's, again, taken with a grain of salt, and there's a disclaimer in the show notes as well telling you not to rely on any of this for medical diagnosis. There's Chinese side. But you can work with your doctor on it, show him, and see where he goes with it. If he wants you to do this on a regular basis and send him the charts, then great. Okay, simple band. It's got the charging port here, and I don't have it in here. I have it all charged up. I'll bring it over in a minute. I have a little charging clip that you put on here. I'll show you that. And you plug it in your USB and you charge it up. It's going to last for days. That little clasp, it looks like this. USB, clasp, band, squeeze, connect, charge, you're done. There are the two electrodes for the part of the ECG. There's the little diode in the middle, and I just touched my finger on the button and turned it on. Look at that already. It's that sensitive. So I'm going to put it on. Easy little slip through the hole and press down the buttons. And unlike several I've seen where the buttons are too small, this is nice. It just goes right in there. There's nothing worse other than a lady's pair of pants that are too tight to pull up and button. There's nothing worse than trying to snap this thing in when the holes are too small. There's the digital time. In color, heart rate, boom, already going. You got your battery power on here, Bluetooth connection, everything you want, date, time. It's in AM, PM now, but it can go 24 hours through the app. If I press and hold, I can switch it to a little analog watch screen. So if you don't want folks to know it's all this fancy digital stuff, you got a nice little thing right there. It's only got two. Press it again and it'll flip you back to the digital one. As you pace through it, it shows you the standard pedometer step count information. I got to be quick. The calories burned versus that step count and the distance traveled. And those things are all recorded here and can be sent off to the app. We'll come back to there, the ECG plus PPG. Here's your actual heart rate now being taken with the optical diode in the back. It's only using that to get your heart rate. That's the sine wave looking thing you'll see in the chart. There it's going. Here is blood pressure. You see the little animated thing going. Blood pressure derived from that same green diode. Notice I'm not touching down here. That is an estimation through an algorithm. There you go, algorithm that gives me 124/80. And that's coming again from the green diode. That's the same darn technology that Apple is got with the FTC, that Samsung is trying to get approval in the United States for. China's thrown that in almost as a bonus in a band that will do ECG, electrocardiograph, also known as EKG, by the way. That's German. Now, next, we have messages. This is where you'd get message pushes if you have anything coming from your phone. Doggone, I've got to keep moving. No, it's a very fast timeout and I can't change it. Here's find your phone, press and hold. And that's my phone making that sound. And then on off. You can turn the band off here if you want to save battery. And we're back to time. So the magic is in the ECG plus PPG. On this device, if I press and hold it, it gives you this chart. Now, that's a fake little one going across. That's just a flashing icon. That's not real. The real thing that's happening is being recorded in the band. And later, after it tells us we're done, which takes, I think, about 30 seconds on this one, maybe as much as a minute. And it's got to actually get a good reading. Now, again, there you go. It says to app. The two electrodes on the back are touching my skin and making part of the circuitry that's completed with this one. It's stored that in here. And as long as I don't do another one, when I bring over the app and I synchronize it, it will pass all that data over here. And what app are we talking about? WearHeart. We're in it right now, just looking at it from the Google Play Store. WearHeart. Download this thing. Open it. You need to set up an account initially. And after you've set up the account and you've paired your watch, you'll get in here and it'll immediately synchronize when you go over there. And what am I talking about? You go into here and it will ask you to pair and it'll look for the device name. If you don't know for sure what the name was, when I was going through tapping the buttons and I got to the on-off screen, it showed you the name of it. So that's what you're going to look for. This last sheet, by the way, is where you set all these different parameters, including in device management. You can turn on hourly heart rate monitoring and do call reminding and all of this. I'm whipping through this quickly because I've reviewed this app over and over. In fact, in the show notes where the link is to this app, below it is going to be a list of other videos that'll take you right to the moment where I start reviewing this app. So if you want to learn a lot about this app, just review those particular videos. It's there. But what I want to show you on this particular app itself now is how the band operates to give you the heart wave. See, I'm 3% of my goal at 251 steps. I just put it on. Here, you get last night's sleep time, your distance traveled, and so forth, and the PPG heart rate. If you go in here, when it's all set up, you'll get your sleep average heart rate if you wear it at night, your overall highest, your average, and lowest. All of that stuff is calculated if you have that hourly check turned on by the day, and you can go back to previous days as well and get monthly summaries. A lot of stuff. You'll see that. Come over here to health. This is where the fun begins. Now, heart rate variability health index is 64. That's when I ran the calibration. Calibration is what we're going to do first. I want to guide you through this. This is so that the heart rate information that you get, your blood pressure, what this band can do really well is to tell you the deviation from a standard. Once you get a calibrated standard, it's like a scale. If you set the scale at 0 and you put something on it and weigh it, and it's a 5-pound thing, it'll read 5 pounds. But if the scale is at a -1 and you put something on, it's going to weigh 4 pounds, and you're going to think that's wrong. So you do precise value calculation where you put in what you know your systolic and diastolic values are from a cuff. Let's say it's 134 over 86. I'm going to confirm that. Now, it's going to use that baseline and do a run on the watch and get the heart chart, and boom, that will suddenly calibrate this. So here's how it looks. You've got the last calibration information. It's going to go in for 30 seconds. The upper part of the chart is your ECG. That's coming through the electricity. PPG, that's coming through the green diode, going into the capillaries, the blood oozing through the capillaries, causing a change in the light reflected back. That chart will be there. They're both measures of your heart, but they're done differently. Are you ready? I'm going to put this over here, bring the band so you can see it. Get my fingers already moist, which is good, and my arm is moist. You want a little moisture. Get it wet, both of them, not soaking wet, but a little moist to make sure you have electrical contact, and start. Gives you a 4-second countdown to get in position. You see on the chart now what's going on? There, it's settling in, and those sharp peaks at the top, that's the ECG. Now, I can already tell, you see the distance between them, and of course I'm talking and moving slightly, so I'm going to have a pretty bad HRV right now, simply because of that. Down below, you see the up and down wavy lines going on. That's the PPG. So I'm going to be quiet for... No, I'm not. Just blew the whole darn thing. Anyway, okay, it gave me a value. It says I'm calibrated. Now I'm going to do a real measurement, and I'm going to be a little more quiet because I want to go back and look at that chart together with you. Listen to the roosters outside. If we're lucky, they'll crow right now. You ready? Confirm it and go. Okay, hardest 30 seconds of my life. I used to be a disc jockey, and that's called dead air, when nothing's going out and everybody's changing stations. It's so hard. Heart rate, 71. Blood pressure calculated from both the optical and the ECG, 130 over 83. Adjusted with my default that I put in there, so it's, I don't want to use the word more accurate, but I'll say it's closer likely to be you, uniquely you, because you put your measurement in. Otherwise, it's calculated based on 120 over 80 or something. No abnormalities in my heart rate variability, and the index value is 69. We'll look at that a little deeper in a moment. My fatigue index is an unfortunate 45. Comes with 2 cups of coffee and a Subway. Physical and mental load, 61 right now. Physical fitness, 69. And my cardiac function is at 83. Higher is better. Look at all the stuff you get on that. You can get a detailed report. But I'm going to confirm it, and we'll look at the report in a minute, because I want to call you back to the charts here. Here is the chart we just recorded, and I could record another one. Or I could come back here to measurements, go into the ECG, and it's going to load that puppy up. And from this screen, I can do a playback of the whole thing. Watch this. Start playback, and now I can talk about it. You see how sharp the lines are compared to the lower part? This is relatively new. When you look at the videos of the other bands and watches that do ECG, you'll notice there's kind of more noise, and these peaks aren't as high. It appears they've refined the circuitry, because what you're really looking at is the distance between each of these lines. Look at that. They're pretty regular right there. Not so much the height, but the distance. because that's what's used for calculating heart rate variability. So as inexpensive as this $30 band is, the technology inside of it generating the ECG chart has actually improved over a year ago when we saw similar bands come out doing the same thing. Take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the other videos. Check them out. This is really nice, really clean. That same chart you're looking at right here, watch this. Hit Health Report. It generates a PDF of that chart, the whole thing right here with all of your demographics on it, your heart rate calculation on it, the technical information, date and time, exportable by email or other means to whoever you want. Your beloved, your children, your grandparents, the doctor, your health professional. Just send it to Facebook. They'll all get it. Anyway, here it is in its graphic form. $30, guys. This is a heart wave, a 3-lead ECG heart wave that, if that wasn't enough, is combined together with the PPG to get heart rate variability and calculate all of this stuff for an overall detailed health report. Your fatigue index, physical mental load, fitness, and cardiac function with health advice. Remember, they do not diagnose and treat. This is only for informational purposes only. Entertainment. This is entertainment, okay? I hope you're entertained. I hope you don't take it seriously. But, and I don't want to use but, and, and consult with your doctor about what you're seeing here. Use this as educational input on your own physiology of your heart anatomy in function in your body to guide you in how to best take care of yourself, because it's all right here, all right here. And as you get these things worked up, you can have several of them throughout the day. You can go back and see previous days. You can do all of that stuff. And if you're away from your phone, you got a good shot at doing one of them right from the band. Just get here, press and hold, wait 30 seconds. It'll capture it, sync it up. Don't do anything else. Come over here and take a look at it. Send it out. Send it to yourself. Email it and keep it in your own archive. Compare things. We all have different stuff going on in our bodies, and if you watch enough of the ads on TV about heart medicine, you can be afraid of a sudden heart stopping, heart fibrillations, AFib, atrial fibrillation. There's so many different things. But what really matters is what the actual data looks like. So this is available for you in the app to take a look at. The band is available for you. Simple little fitness band you can slide on and off. And you can get it. Let me get my sheet over here again. From AliExpress. Again, this is coming from L8STAR. Better late than never, right? L8STAR ECG+PPG smart band that does blood pressure, heart wave, heart rate, and more. All right? Show notes in the link is in the show notes. It really helps us out if you use that link, because these guys monitor how many sales they get on whether they're going to send me more products to show you. So if you're thinking of buying, check out the link first, see if it works for you. You've been watching SmartWatch Ticks. If you're a first timer, please subscribe. We'll push you all sorts of information, not too often, but YouTube will let you know when we got new stuff up. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. That really helps out too. All right, we'll see you again soon.